in just a few weeks, we may have one of the best NFL weeks ever. I mean, you have the Bills and Patriots going at it for first in the AFC East. You got the Rams and Lions, Stafford versus Goff again, two NFC heavyweights. You have the Broncos, the Packers going at it, two contenders there. You have the Chiefs, Chargers, a rematch. Both are fighting for the playoffs, both for the division. And then you have the Colts and Seahawks, two surprise powerhouse teams this year. I mean, what a slate. And we're going to go bit by bit here, talk about this, and also talk about how the NFL is going to flex these games around, because a lot of them are at the same time right now, and we want to see the most amount of football, and how can the NFL accomplish that? We're going to get into it. Looking at this, we have the Week 15 early slate. Pretty good there, and I tossed in Ravens and Bengals because Burrow sounds like he could be back for this one, so that one could be a pretty fun game. Unfortunately, the thing holding it back is the Bengals might kind of be done by then, so we'll see. And then the late slate, you have Packers, Broncos, Colts, Seahawks, Lions, Rams, all smushed together at one time. So how is the NFL going to spread these out? What are they going to do? How are we going to see the games we want? Because the current primetime slate for the week stinks. It's horrible. I mean, Thursday night, you have the Falcons visiting the Bucks, which that can be flexed out, but there's not really any options. There's a lot of reasons it would be really tricky. I won't get too far into that. Sunday night is Minnesota at Dallas. And, I mean, the Vikings look pretty rough. Dallas is serviceable, but there's just so many better games. And then Monday night is Miami at Pittsburgh. I mean, that's just a rough one. The Dolphins haven't been great this year. So how can the NFL go about getting us fans, the best football games and the best time slots? Now, Sunday Night Football, flexing out a Dallas Cowboy game is not something they often do, unfortunately. But I really hope that they reconsider for, a moment like this, because it just needs to happen with how smushed some of these games are together. So let's go ahead and start with the first thing, and that is figuring out, what needs to go into this Monday Night Football slot, because we're going to get rid of that Sunday and Monday game here. So right away here are the candidates to replace that game. And, you might have your opinion which one has to go in there, but unfortunately, there's a lot of weird rules with the NFL they have to follow as far as what can and can't be flexed to what spot. It's a lot. So we'll start at the bottom there. You have Colts at Seattle. Honestly, would be kind of a perfect game to slot into that Monday night slot. It gives Monday night vibes, and it's just two good teams. Unfortunately, though, Seattle plays the upcoming Thursday night. So with that being said, they are not an option to be moved into that game because they can't play Monday and Thursday. And then you look at Rams-Lions. You're like, wow, another good game. This could get moved in. That'd be awesome for Monday night, right? Unfortunately, the team Seattle plays the upcoming Thursday night is the Los Angeles Rams. So this game also cannot be flexed to that Monday night slot. And then, all right, whatever, let's move on. Green Bay, Denver, right? This one could definitely be moved in there. Two good teams. I mean, this would be a very awesome Monday night game, but unfortunately, Green Bay plays the upcoming Saturday. They cannot be flexed into that spot. And then you have Buffalo at New England here. They would certainly be a good flex candidate for that Monday night spot. But there's another NFL rule. If you played, a divisional matchup early in the season and it's on a primetime network, so not CBS or Fox, which are, the AFC, NFC conferences, then their next matchup must belong to that network. So CBS owns the rights to this one, however way you slice it. So that one cannot be moved to Monday. Then all that's left is Chargers, Chiefs, and unfortunately, they also did not play on CBS earlier this season. So, by the rules, this one does belong to CBS as well. But in my mind, I have a weird gut. I don't know how it works, right? I don't know the behind the scenes. I know deals can be made, between NFL and the networks. And I feel like with the abundance of just stacked games that CBS has this week, I feel like maybe they can agree to give up the protection on this game in return for a little something down the road, right? There's going to come a time when CBS maybe wants some better games or wants a better flex spot. And maybe that's the exchange for this one. The NFL kind of hands something over to them because, I mean, you have 3 other great CBS games there: Indianapolis, Seattle, Green Bay, Denver, Buffalo, New England. And on top of that, you also have Baltimore, Cincinnati, which, like I said, Burrow might be back. So I feel like maybe something can be done there. With whether it's 100% possible, I'm not very sure. The NFL kind of put themselves in the spot, putting a bunch of games that can't be flexed this weekend. Kind of unfortunate, but I gotta hope they can get something done. So I'm gonna slot in Chargers at Chiefs from Monday Night Football because, like I said, a couple of the others can't be moved, and Buffalo, New England is one that they will absolutely not budge on. It's maybe the best game of all the CBS ones, so maybe they'll give up Chargers, Chiefs. But then let's move on and talk about what we would do for a Sunday Night Football flex here. So we still have the other 4 games remaining that need to be figured out where we want to put those. And I'll go ahead and get rid of Detroit at Los Angeles. So this is one that I think is just going to be staying put because it's really Fox's only good game of the week. They're going to protect this one. They're going to hold on to this one. And it's going to stay right there in that 3:25 Central time slot, in my opinion. And then as far as Sunday night, Buffalo at New England, that's not happening because, like I said, you have the rule where, they played on Sunday night earlier this year. They cannot, by rule, play on Sunday night again. And especially if I have CBS relinquishing the rights to the Chargers-Chiefs game, they definitely won't give up there. So Buffalo, New England, not an option. And then it's between Green Bay at Denver and Indianapolis at Seattle. 2 really good games. I think the one that gets moved in here, I think Green Bay and Denver stays. I think Indianapolis at Seattle goes into NBC because CBS is, they're going to want Green Bay and Denver. Those are the bigger markets. Those are the bigger draws. Whether or not it's a better game, I think the games are about equal. They're going to want this one. So that relinquishes Indianapolis at Seattle free to go, and I think it slots in there nicely into the Sunday night slot. You get a little Colts visiting the Seahawks, the 12th man action there, and I think that's a great option for Sunday night. So then, what happens with the rest of these games? For better or for worse, I think they stay put. Buffalo at New England, such a monster game. I mean, could decide the division. I mean, two really good teams, but unfortunately, I think it's stuck at that 12 Central, 1 o'clock Eastern, because like I said, it cannot be moved to Sunday or Monday night, and it really can't be moved to 3:25 because there's already a couple other games there, and the only option you could do is move one of those games to the early window to swap with New England, Buffalo, but the problem is, at Denver and at Seattle, those are 2 spots where the games need to be played late. They're west. Otherwise they'd be starting at 10, 11 a.m., so they're not going to do that. So unfortunately, the AFC East major divisional clash between Buffalo and New England, I think, stays put at noon. I think Green Bay and Denver get the highlighted CBS 3:25 slot, and Fox keeps the really good matchup between the Rams and Detroit at 3:25. But whatever way you slice it, this is a great week of football. I can't remember the last time I've seen this many powerhouse matchups in 1 week. It's going to be an absolutely amazing week. We have a few weeks between now and then, so a lot of good football still coming. But this one is definitely circled on the calendar. This is going to be one heck of a week. And, like I said, I've explained some reasons it's tricky for the NFL as far as how they're going to dance around, maneuvering these games. I hope they do it well. Because my worst nightmare is, Chargers and Chiefs still has to stay on CBS because, they can't get something worked out. So that traps Pittsburgh versus Miami on Monday night, which is just atrocious. And then the league doesn't want to move Dallas out of Sunday night, so that stays there. And then essentially what you'd have is just a bunch of games all crammed together that you have to watch multiple at once or focus on one and kind of miss the other. And I just think that'd be a shame for what are some really, really good games. If they can find a way to do it the way I laid out here, the only 2 good games at the same time is at 3:25, Green Bay, Denver, and Detroit, LA. And that time slot is going to have 2 games regardless because CBS and Fox both have a prime matchup for that week at that time. So I think this is really the best and only way you can do it. Let me know what you think. What are the other options? But regardless, it's going to be a heck of a week of football. I'm really looking forward to it. But looking forward for the couple weeks we have between now and then as well. You know, we got Thanksgiving coming up. That's always a great slate, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome down the stretch here.